Hey everybody, it's Dalton. Well, let's talk about what went on out here today. Things are a little slow. Fishing's been a little slow out here. Last 4 times I've been out here, haven't caught a whole lot of fish, haven't got a lot of bites. I do get some fish, a lot of small ones, a lot of small bites, but just really slow. You know, as far as this whole fall transition, fall turnover stuff, this to me has always been, for me at least, one of the more difficult times of the year. And because a lot of times it forces me offshore. I really don't like offshore bass fishing. I used to hate it. Now I just don't like it. And maybe someday I'll start liking it. But there are times at this lake I get forced offshore. I got to fish out deeper. I know right off the bat this morning I ran into a group of white bass. And they were way suspended deep out in the pretty much the middle of the water column. There he is, finally. So as you can see, I've got a white bass here. It's real foggy this morning, so I haven't been able to get anywhere quick at all. So what I've done is I found a bunch of them. They're up off the bottom here, like 30 feet. I'll show you what I'm throwing. I mean, it took me a long time to find a group of fish today. I got this little Z-Man Swimbait right here, and I am really just throwing it way out, letting it hit the bottom, and then just slowly bringing it back. And that's how I caught that dude. I'm hoping there's some spotted bass mixed in with him. It's been really tough out here. This is that weird time of year for me. It's always been that way, this whole fall turnover transition stuff. Someday maybe I'll figure it out, but this is like a really tough time. But I'm finally got a bite there, and it's giving me a little bit of an idea of what I need to do. I needed a bite. Now I know what I got to do. Well, after I was done there, I decided to go and fish a little more shallow, and I did manage to get some bites with the spotted bass in some of the more shallow areas. I would say probably around 4 to 6 feet. Had one playing around with it, and he finally came over and grabbed it. Got me a spotted bass here. That's what I'm looking for. Come on, buddy. Come on up here. There we go. He getting a lot of them that are just kind of tapping my bait. Yeah, nice little spot right there. I run around here on the graph. I'm just slowly dragging this little swim bait, and he popped it the first time, I let it sit there, he missed it, and then when I picked it up again, he went ahead and hit it. So there's a few of them running around off this point. Hopefully I can catch some more. The bait that I used today, and I started off this morning, it was real foggy. So I started off this morning with a chatterbait, no action on the chatterbait. Threw a vertical drop shot, no action on the drop shot. And so I wound up throwing this little swim bait. It's made by Z-Man. It's called a Z-Man Swims. It's about a little 2.5 inch little swim bait. This color is called the Deal. I just put a little Z-Man jig head on there, and I'm running on 8-pound test fluorocarbon. And the way I worked this thing today was really two ways. I would either swim it, trying to find where those bass were suspended. I would swim it along there, and I would get some bites that way. But I got more bites when I just basically drug it on the bottom. I would just cast it out, drag it real slow, started getting bites with it. The thing I like about this little swim bait, I just bought these not long ago. I'd never used them before. But the thing I really like about them is that you can actually reel this thing super slow, and that little tail just goes and goes and goes, and it kind of has a little shimmy sort of effect to where it kind of does this, and I got to tell you, this thing looks just like a little baby shad. Next spring, when the bass start spawning and you start having the shad spawn, I am definitely going to be using this, and I bet I'm going to catch a ton of bass on this thing because it looks just like a little baby shad. So if you haven't tried this bait out, I definitely recommend it. I'll have it in the description below. Well, I'm going to wrap it up, go home and do some barbecuing, get back to work tomorrow. I'll be back out here in a few days. I'm going to come out here on Black Friday and do some fishing and just continue to try to figure out what's going on out here. Hopefully the bass will start moving up more shallow, more back into the coves and stuff where I'm a little more comfortable catching them. Again, I like shallow water fishing. I was raised up on largemouth. I like that shallow water, so when I got to get out deeper, it tends to be a little bit of a challenge for me. But I'll just keep learning. You know, when I have a difficult time on the lake, I just keep coming back. I fish just as much during the down times as I do the up times, because when you have those down times, I got to tell you, sometimes those can be the best times to learn. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Gonna have some more videos for you coming up. We'll talk to you next time.